Welcome to Meg's Motorcycle Journey, where we explore the world on two wheels. This channel will follow me on my journey to become a better rider and explore my love of all things motorcycles. Today, I'm taking my best friend on her first real motorcycle ride. It's my best friend Lauren. We've been best friends since we were middle school, high school. But she's only rode a bike once for a mile, so it's gonna be an adventure. So as I mentioned, this was Lauren's first ride, so you'll probably see a little bit of me turning around and smiling and laughing because I was just enjoying watching her face and watching her experience a motorcycle ride for the first time, which is kind of cool. Watching your best friend do something that you love. So as I mentioned, her husband has had his license for 2 years. I've also been friends with him for more than 20 years. We all grew up together. So I've been trying to talk him into a bike for quite some time, and he was on the fence a couple of times. He told me he wanted a Sportster and he wanted to look at some different bikes. I tried to talk him out of that because she wanted to ride with him. And I didn't think that a Sportster was the best bike for that, frankly. So at the end of this video, I will talk about the outcome of their journey and their search potentially for a motorcycle. But this part of the video is us on our way to the closest Harley dealer to sort of a central location between her and I, which is the Old Glory Harley-Davidson in Laurel. I know a few of the staff people there, and they've taken my bike in for service before. They actually did a great job. As you'll see in a few minutes, they have a really extensive and impressive inventory of bikes there. I've been to a bunch of different Harley dealerships since the pandemic started, and everybody is pretty much running low on bikes and inventory, but not Old Glory. So you'll have a chance to see that in a little while. But this is a ride through parts of western Howard County, and I think into Montgomery County, Maryland. It's really nice time of year with the fall leaves, so there is some pretty scenery. And I decided on this particular day that I was going to wear my tall boots, which are actually really great at keeping my legs warm because they are real leather. But I've been so fortunate that the weather in Maryland has remained pretty warm. We've had a couple of cold days here and there, but it's still getting close to 70 a lot of days, which is unusual, certainly for late October, early November. But I'm not complaining because it's a great riding temperature. So it's been a lot of fun. I mentioned last time that I got a new sissy bar. Haven't got it in the mail yet. It was custom, so it's taking a little while, but I'm hoping that that will be in soon. This was us. We stopped for a quick snack. Anybody that knows me knows I need to be well fed. I don't do well without food, so we stopped for a quick snack, and this is us getting back on the road to head to the dealership. So that particular day, it was supposed to be a really nice day, and you'll see at the end of the video that once we get there on our way home, it's a really nice day. But on this particular day, not so much. So I've been talking to Lauren about her husband getting a bike and riding with me for quite some time, and we wanted to form a girls' biker group. So we're still deciding on what we're going to name our biker group. So offer some suggestions in the comments about what we should name our chick biker group. We might get, some matching jackets, something fun like that. I'm trying to talk her into riding a bike herself. She would be great. One, she is fit and athletic, and two, she's tall, so she'd be able to have a little bit more ground clearance than I have at 5'2". And her and I have done things together a whole life. We played field hockey in high school, and we have been moms together. I've got my 3 kids, and she's got 2 little boys. So I think it would be really fun for us to be able to have a girls riding group. Not that I don't enjoy riding with the boys, I do. The only other female that I know well that rides is my cousin. She's been riding for a very long time. Well, on and off. She's sold a couple of bikes and bought some new bikes. And if you go to my Instagram page, you can see some rides I did with her earlier this season. She actually had a Sportster as well. We had the same bike, mine in red and hers in black. But I think she's going to upgrade as well. So we're about to get on the highway. This was just me having a little fun. I usually don't let it go like that, but just having a little fun on that particular day. I haven't taped a lot of highway footage because it's just not as interesting. The back roads are kind of cool. Much better scenery, I think. But because we were going to Harley, this was the most direct route. So, as I mentioned, you'll see a lot of smiles out of me because it was a cool experience getting to ride with my best friend. I was actually very nervous about highway riding for a long time. In some ways, it's a lot easier because you don't have to turn as much. You don't have to be as good at slow maneuvers. But just getting used to traffic took a while, and having the confidence to move around with trucks and large vehicles. And I think highway riding is a skill because you have to always be vigilant, be making wise choices to try to stay out of people's blind spots, and make sure that you're not behind a truck that might have any loose items. So those are things that I think I've certainly gotten better at and more aware of my surroundings. I think riding a motorcycle has actually made me a better car driver, which actually wasn't tough. As I mentioned, I drove my car into a swimming pool when I was 15, so probably not all that difficult to improve on my driving skills. Almost everyone says I'm better on 2 wheels than 4. And I think that a lot of that is because on a bike, you really realize how vulnerable you are and make sure that you're alert and, have your eyes on the road and paying attention. And so I like to think that my riding skills on 2 wheels are much improved from my skills in a car. So you can't really see, but it was right around Halloween when I taped this, and so I'm wearing a Halloween shirt, but you will see more of it when we get to the dealer. And it was finally starting to get sunny and nice. I am fortunate that there's a bunch of really great Harley dealerships in Maryland, and I have had the pleasure of working with people at Laurel at Old Glory, which is the one that we're going to in this video, at the Annapolis Harley-Davidson, Rommel. They've been great as well. I've been to Baltimore. I actually bought my Sportster at the Baltimore Harley-Davidson. And Frederick, which is where I bought this bike. And I've also, if you follow my Instagram page, you've seen, been up to Battlefield Harley-Davidson, which is in Gettysburg, but not too far away from my hometown, where I ride a lot, as you know, from my second video. So here is us pulling into the dealership. You will get an opportunity to see Lauren and I kind of just being girls, and her checking out some bikes. So hopefully it's a little change, a little something different from some of my other videos up to this point. How are ya?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
How's your bike treating you?
Good. Here we are at Old Glory Harley-Davidson, me and Lauren. She's looking for a bike for her husband. There's Gino. We have a really good selection here, and Gino sold me my bike actually when he was at a different Harley.
Don't dream me now.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything right now is selling out. Like, you can't even.
I'm in the market. Yeah, I'm in the market to buy a side-by-side like a Polaris Razor, right? But I want the Can-Am Extreme. I wasn't paying.
Lauren actually started off saying she wanted a sidecar.
I still want a sidecar. You're not talking me out.
So wait, you're telling me this one's not there?
Yes.
All right. I feel like I'm gonna sit on it. It's really pretty.
Look at this. Wood grain intro.
I mean, I like the Harley. I don't want to know how much this thing costs that I'm sitting on right now.
114, 150.
Lauren's already trying to upgrade her bike gear. She didn't like
Well, my
the leather jacket that was flapping.
I feel like I can't move though.
I know, they do. They are stiff. They take a minute to sort of loosen up.
I mean, it's kind of cute, right?
It's really cute. You look great in it. Lauren is checking out this jacket now. Here for all the attire. We're here.
I just need the gear.
So now we're headed home. And as I mentioned, it actually did turn into a really beautiful day. So they didn't end up having either of the bikes her husband was interested in. He wanted either a Fat Bob or a Fat Boy. And I understand that both are pretty hard to find these days. So despite the fact that they had a really amazing inventory, they didn't have exactly what he was looking for. So we were still on the search for a bike for him, but it definitely helped that I took her and she got excited. And both of us are really girly girls and we're into fashion. So I think she was pretty excited to get outfitted for a new bike. So we ended up looking at a couple other dealers over the next several days to try to find him a bike. And we found a bunch of options. He did end up settling on a Fat Boy. It's a 2019, but it is brand new. I'll show you guys a picture of it. Really beautiful bike. I would not have thought that I would be into a brown bike, but this particular bike I think just looks beautiful, classy, great bike. So anyway, added another rider, another friend that I can go out with and have a good time riding with. So that's really exciting. And she told me that after she rides with him for a while, she's gonna try to consider getting her own license. So that should be a lot of fun. I mentioned last time that I am, or maybe the time before, that I want to do some upgrades. So I have been pricing out upgrades. So I'm hoping to have those done in the next month or so. I also sort of wanted to wait until the weather got colder to put my bike in the shop, just because I felt like it would be nice to enjoy as many of these 70-degree days as possible before having to give up my bike for a week or two. I've mentioned that I rode all year last year, and I plan on riding all year this year, and that's true. But if I have to give up my bike for a couple of weeks, I would rather it be during the cold weather season. Last year, I was really fortunate that I never went more than 2 weeks without riding, even though I was in Maryland all winter, and traditionally Maryland will be very cold and sometimes very snowy and icy for several months. There's definitely winters where I would not have been able to ride comfortably at all, or where snow was not on the ground for certainly more than 2 weeks. So it was a mild winter last year, and we hardly got any snow. I obviously enjoy snow because I'm a skier, but not when it sticks around for months and months. So I am sort of hoping that we have another relatively mild winter. I would certainly be okay with a couple of good snowstorms, and my kids love playing in them. But I think that from here on out, I'll probably be okay with mild winters, because it certainly makes riding a lot more comfortable and a lot more fun. You know, it's riding in 40 or 50 degrees is cold but tolerable. Riding in 20 degrees, I think, would be pretty miserable. I think the coldest, I went out last year when it was 31, but I did not get too far. I think I rode about 20 miles in total. I rode 10 miles in one direction and was like, yeah, this is really, really cold. And that was before I had heated gear. So now I would probably, it would be more tolerable. How about that? So until next time, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks.